Well, I just got caught out with the border closures here in Queensland and New South Wales. I'm down to Girraween National Park, which is down on the border of New South Wales and Queensland. And it essentially bridges over the border. Whilst it's still run by the Queensland National Park Service, unfortunately it does then tip into New South Wales. So the campsite that I booked is actually on the New South Wales side of the border. And of course, I didn't even realise that until I got down here because I hadn't looked at the map close enough. Never even thought about border closures being in Western Queensland. But anyway, that's all fine. Got back on the Gaia maps on the side of the road and rebooked on the Queensland side of the border. And now just heading out for a hike in the afternoon. It's about 2:30 at the moment. So I'll bring you guys along for this hike and show you what we can see in this Run It Belt Park. Really different from the lake I was at a couple of weeks ago, in that when the wind drops, absolutely dead silent. Not a bird sound anywhere. As you would have heard in the video around the lake, it was just littered with birds. They were everywhere, which was just great. But here, not sure whether it's the cold weather. As I said, it's the coldest part of Queensland, in fact. But yeah, just really quiet. Almost spookily quiet when the wind drops, because you just can't hear any birds talking to each other at all. It's very interesting as the sun gets to the sunset as to whether they all then start talking to each other or not. But at this point in time, very quiet. You can hear me in this wind, but this is hanging rock or balancing rock. As you can see, just extraordinary. It's probably about a metre on the bottom of this rock that's actually balancing on. Just extraordinary. You can walk right around the whole rock. It's obviously split off from this big guy here at some point, and it's literally just sitting there. Just crazy how well that's balancing there. Just amazing. You would think that just with a bit of a push, you could just push it off, but no, she's not going anywhere. Just extraordinary. The view up here is fantastic. Well worth the hike up. If you ever out this way, you've got to get up to here in they call it the pyramid or balancing rock, but yeah, well worth the walk. Pretty hard pitch up here, some pretty sketchy places where you're walking up rock faces and so forth, but yeah, definitely worth doing. Just on 4:15 now, so I'm going to pack myself up, head back down and grab some dinner before it gets too dark. I do have a head torch, but we'll just see how we go with this late light. Probably got about another hours to get back down, so that's easy. Probably only take about 20 minutes to get back to the campground, so yeah, we'll pack it up and head back. Just pulling in here to watch the sun go down over this billabong. As I thought before, the birds are just starting to come alive now. I can hear them now all having a bit of a chat to each other before they head to bed themselves. Still a beautiful time of the day though, just gorgeous. 5:05, sun's just going down over the horizon as we speak. Still nice and warm at this point in time. The air's cool as the wind comes across you, but just sitting here on this rock, it's absolutely gorgeous. This billabong at the top of you can hear the little waterfall at the background, little billabong at the top here. It's just a fantastic view and a gorgeous time of the day. So just going to sit here for the next 10 or 15 and watch the sun go down. Always great to get back to camp and get the fire going, isn't it? Something absolutely relaxing about sitting in front of a fire having a cleansing ale. Great way to finish off a day. Interesting couple of scenarios with getting kicked out of the wrong side of the state, which is fantastic. Turned out to be the best thing that happened to me all day. As it were, the place I was going to was called Bald Rock, so as you can imagine, it's a big, smooth granite monolith. In fact, it's the biggest granite monolith in Australia. But I can imagine now, seeing what I've seen today and the pyramid here and the balancing rock, etc., that it would have been not as nice as here, put it that way. It would have been a little bit more boring than this. So, as it always turns out, the Lord above always looks after us and it's put me into the right camp spot. So, can't complain at all. Dinner tonight's pretty easy, just a spag bowl. I've already pre-made the mince and so forth. You just got to cook up some pasta, so that'll be easy. And then we can just sit back and relax and enjoy this fire. One of my favourite meals, I've got to tell you. Beautiful. Okay, so for a bit of a change, I thought I'd make ourselves a bit of dessert tonight. So we've got ourselves a bit of a pink lady apple here. We're just going to get the core out of this. There we go, so we don't cut our thumb off. So, I'm going to get as much of this out as we can. This is a little bit difficult. We'll get there. And get all the seeds and so forth out if we can. That's not too bad. I've got to say, guys, this is the quietest campsite I think I've ever been to. There's probably about 30 or 40 campers or camp setups here, and it's absolutely dead quiet, which is a really nice change, I must admit. All right, to that, we are going to add some brown sugar. If we can get it open, of course. Yeah, only want a little bit of this. Just over a teaspoon. This will be perfect. And a little muesli bar. This one's a dark chocolate and cranberry. What we're going to do with this guy is just mush it all up. Shove it right in as far as we can. that'll probably do it. And wrap it in tin foil. So, after we've done that, I'll take them on the fire, leave it on for about 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so let's just dig out some coals here. What we're going to try and do is make a little bit of a nest if we can. Don't want to burn the bottom too much. Just bring some of these coals out. Alright, we'll shove him just in there and shovel the coals around him. Alright, let's see how that turns out in about 15 minutes time. Alright, let's see what this thing looks like, shall we? Been in the fire for about 20 minutes, just been turning it around in the coals. We'll see how it has turned out. It's hot. Ow. Oh, look at that. Not too shabby. Get rid of all this. That is, oh, lovely and soft. Oh. Wow. That is so good. Mmm. The apple's all lovely and soft now. We've just got the lovely crunch of the muesli bar. A bit like an apple crumble done on the campfire. Very, very good. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, how does this guy get a takeaway coffee in a little campground out in the middle of absolutely nowhere? Well, as always the case, there's always a story behind these things. I made that lovely apple crumble last night, and that was absolutely delicious. Got my little stove out, got everything all set up, ready to make a cup of tea, and I didn't bring my coffee mug, did I? So I had nothing to drink out of. So that was okay, just had some water, sat by the fire the next couple of hours and just watched the fire, which was great. As I'm going to bed, I look in the car and what do I see? Empty coffee cup. So I thought, I could have just used that. Great. So that's what I've done this morning. I've made myself a coffee on my little stove. I'm now having a nice little coffee. Absolutely freezing overnight. Just having some overnight oats for breakfast. Sun's now up, which is lovely. Up past 7, so just going to pack up now. There's another hike up to a place called Castle Rock, so I'll head up there this morning. Have a look up there. And then probably come back and pack up and head off home. So I'm just going to enjoy this breakfast, and we'll talk to you guys when I see you up there. One of the great things about being the first one up in camp is you get out on these trails all by yourself. Just on 8 o'clock now, and everyone else is just sitting around their fires having breakfast. There's a few of the dads packing up tents or packing up caravans and gazebos and all that type of business. So I've got this trail all myself, which is absolutely lovely. Beautiful light this time of the day. So just heading off to the information centre. As I said last night, I'm going to go to this place called Castle Rock. It sits at about 1,100 metres, and we'll have a look there and see what the view's like from the top. Well, this is the top of Castle Rock. What an absolute blinder of a view. Just extraordinary. You may not be able to pick it up in the camera, but it's just rocks and rocks and rocks. There's granite boulders, granite big sheer boulders everywhere, all through the valley. They call it the Valley of the Giants, and I can understand why now. It's just brilliant. So I'm just going to sit here and have a snack and some water, and then I'll head on back down to camp, chuck the tent in the back of the car and head off for the week. But just wanted to say thank you along for coming along for this adventure again. Thank you to all my subscribers. I've hit 40, that's awesome. If you do like this content, it'd be greatly appreciated if you gave me a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of content. For those of you that have followed the last couple of weeks on the canoeing adventures and selecting of a canoe, etc., I'll start a playlist for my canoe trips. And once I get my new canoe, it shouldn't be too far away now, any canoe adventures, I'll put that in that separate playlist. So if you do want to come in and just do the canoe stuff, you've got a playlist of just the canoe videos. And then obviously the rest of the stuff will stay on the main channel. So yes, I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you all in a couple of weeks' time. Bye for now.